Let's start off at the quarterback position, and we got to go to Daniel Jones. Utterly ridiculous. Truth be told, Horvath, I was ecstatic. And I got laughed at in my own draft room. I always do an in-person draft. All my buddies at Casa de Evans. We did it early August. It's a salary cap / auction, 14-teamer. This is like the 30th, 31st year right around there that we've done this league. So some guys have been around the entire time. Some guys are relatively new bodies. But, we're about middle of the draft. I threw out Daniel Jones. It was a super flex, mind you. And I said $2. Going once, going twice, crickets, sold. And people then erupted in laughter. And I'm like, all right, make fun of it. I'm not kidding you. The next player that was thrown out, a dude goes, Anthony Richardson, $10. Also crickets. But he thought he got the steal of the century, thinking that Richardson was going to be the starter. And I'm like, hey, man, I'm going to tell you right now, Daniel Jones is going to win that gig. I was right, which is a rare occurrence. And, man, was he money in the bank? Of course, I didn't play him. I had him on my bench. I had Bryce Young in there at the Superflex instead, which cost me the game in week 1. But Daniel Jones, man, he really delivered. How good was he? Well, 272 passing yards, passing touchdown, 26 on the ground, and 2 rushing TDs. Quarterback 2 with over 32 fantasy points scored. Impressive 9.4 YPA, a 115.9 passer rating. Middle of the pack, number 17 adjusted completion percentage, but last year was number 10 in that category. Next 3 games, though, are tough. Really going to be a proving ground how good he really is. Get the Denver Broncos, number 2 after 1 week, and drop back EPA defense. At Tennessee, they gave Bo Nix all kinds of fits. They're number 5 and drop back EPAD. And then at the LA Rams, they're number 6. So, we'll see about those defenses. Whether they're going to be consistent. We all feel the Broncos are the best secondary in the league. But do you believe, or is it make-believe, that Daniel Jones is going to be maybe a top 15 quarterback this year?
Top 15, I'm going to go with, I need a bigger sample size, so I'll say make-believe. I do think he's going to be solid, though, man, because he's going to give you some rushing yards, some rushing touchdowns, and I like the weapons, especially my guy Josh Downs after last week made me some money. Tyler Warren, I think, is going to eat in the middle of the field. You still have Jonathan Taylor, and you have Shane Steichen, who might be coaching for his job, right? And, a locker room that wants to win football games. So I don't think he's going to lose his job. I think he's going to be the starter all season long. They've committed to him. The guys really like him. In fact, they don't even call him Danny Dimes anymore. They just call him Dimes. Top 15, I'll sell, but I can see him like 16, 17, 18, I think is realistic. I just need a bigger sample size only because I'm so low on that Miami team, especially the secondary. Now, I bet him this week, but that secondary is beat up right now. So I think like top 20 I'll go with.
I think he's going to be borderline top 15. I'll say believe just for the sake of argument. I think he's going to be right there at the bitter end. I mean, the proof's going to be in the pudding this week against the Broncos. If he goes out, and even if he's a top 20 performer, I would argue he is going to tuck inside the top 15 on the year because the Broncos secondary is that damn good. But it's all about the rushing stats, man. I mean, if we can get consistent returns, whether in yardage, like averaging north of 30, 35 yards per game, the occasional touchdown on the ground. Again, he had the pair of TDs. I don't think he's going to duplicate that at any point the rest of the season. I mean, he is going to have a monster return for people that draft him in the 11th hour or got him for 2 buckaroos in a 14-team Super League draft or Super Flex draft. So Daniel Jones, again, I think it's more believe than make believe, but he is going to be teetering on that top 15 line. Only 6% rostered right now in Yahoo. And if you're looking to, add a quarterback to your roster in a non-Superflex, a standard single quarterback league, I think is worth about $2 to $5 off of Fab. And by the way, if you missed our entire waiver wire breakdown from last night, you can always listen to the BetMGM Tonight podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever you get your podcasts. Subscribe, download right now the BetMGM Tonight podcast. Let's move on to Juggernaut Javonte Williams. Never really lived up to the nickname that I bestowed upon him as a member of the Denver Broncos. But my God, he was outstanding in his first game as a member of the Dallas Cowboys. 15 carries, 54 yards on the ground, a pair of touchdowns. Also had a couple of receptions for 10 receiving yards, over 18 fantasy points scored. He was top 10. Actually, number 3 on the week, to be exact. The yards after contact per attempt sucked. 2.13. That was number 35 on the week. He didn't force a single missed tackle as tracked at Pro Football Focus. But you look at the schedule upcoming. You get the Giants, number 30 in rush EPAD after a game. You get the Bears, number 23 in rush EPA after 1 week. And then Green Bay, stiffer against the run, number 5 in terms of rush EPA defense. So do you believe or make believe in Javonte Williams being an RB2 in 12-team formats this year?
I think he could be a top 20 back, man. I mean, I wasn't buying coming into the season, but he's got no competition. They're going to throw the ball a lot, but he's going to get the goal line work by default. And he had, 2 touchdowns because of that. He's going to get the short yardage look. Like you said, it wasn't the most efficient night, but he looked fresh. He looked capable enough to be the guy for the majority of the season, unless he gets hurt. So, yeah, I'm kind of buying. I think Dallas is going to score a ton of points this year. They're going to be chasing every single week. So, you'll get some dink and dunks. You'll get some receptions. And, yeah, man, I think right now I'd have him like running back 24, 25. But I think there's a shot he could finish top 20, maybe even inside the top 20, as crazy as that sounds.
Yeah, there is a shot there. I think it's going to be really borderline. I'm going to say make-believe. Obviously the injury imp is always lurking. I think Jaden Blue is going to have his time to shine at some point this year. He's got to improve in certain areas to see the field and be active. But at some point, maybe it's going to be after week 10. I think he is going to get an opportunity. And with all of the juice that he possesses in those legs, and he's a guy that's versatile as well, he will eat into the opportunity share Javonte Williams. I just cannot get past some of the advanced analytics. Again, 2.13 yards after contact per attempt stinks. 0 missed tackles forced, inexcusable. It's one game. I understand, small sample size. That's why I live by the rule of 3 before I really start taking away some concrete observations. If this continues, though, the next couple of weeks, man, you got to pump the brakes on Javonte Williams. So you might want to, shop him right now and see what bites. Hey, we got a caller, 833-732-3875. 833-732-3875. Baron from Miami dialed those digits. Baron, how can we help your fantasy team today? Welcome to BetMGM tonight.
Okay, thank you. I took an absolute beating week 1. I had Justin Herbert on the bench, Zay Flowers, and Deebo Samuels on the bench. That was like 60 points collectively. So I'm trying to figure out, try not to make a knee-jerk reaction and sub out Terry McLaurin, Nico Collins, and T. Higgins, and put those guys in to try to stop the bleeding. So I'm trying to figure out what you think about that.
All right. Yeah, that stinks. You had so many opportunities missed there with Justin Herbert, Zay Flowers, and Deebo Samuel. I think you got to find a way to get Deebo in your lineup this week. I think Horvat's on the same page as me. So who would you sit out of Terry McLaurin? I can't sit Nico Collins. Not this week. No. Not given the matchup against Tampa Bay. That's got, I think, a bottom 5 secondary in the NFL. I think he's going to storm back with a vengeance. T. Higgins, I feel the same way as well. McLaurin's the guy that I maybe swap him out for Deebo Samuel, but what say you, Horvey?
I'm probably going to actually leave Deebo on the bench, and if he burns us, then he burns us, but I don't know that I'm going to sit Terry McLaurin. I mean, I did bet his under on 4.5 receptions week 1. I expect a bigger game against this Green Bay secondary. Now, the Green Bay pass rush is going to be absolutely lethal with the addition of Micah Parsons. I think Rashawn Gary's going to have double-digit sacks. Van Ness look really good, but I still do have some question marks about their secondary. Turns out they let Jair Alexander walk for a reason if you watch the Baltimore game against Buffalo. But I think they could be got in the secondary, especially, if they build the lead in this game and Washington's chasing some points. Now, I do like your look on the Deebo rushing yards, and I think they're going to try to use them different ways, man. But for context, like his receiving yards in the game, I think are in the low 50s. The lowest number I saw was 48.5. McLaurin's still a wide receiver number 1 on that roster. So, and they just paid him. I don't think I could sit Terry. What about you though?
Yeah, look, again, I would sub out Terry and I play Debo. I think
Really?
the rust accumulated is still not shaken off by McLaurin. It may take another game. I just like the variable ways that Debo can score. Zay Flowers is interesting, but man, that Cleveland secondary, as you already pointed out, legit. So he can maybe come crashing back down to earth a little bit. So, Baron, good luck to you and whatever you decide. All right, let's get another believe or make believe player in here. And Keon Coleman erupted in that legendary instant classic game on Sunday night against the Buffalo Bills. 11 targets, 8 receptions, 112 yards, and a touchdown, 22.4 fantasy points. He was top 5 of strong yards per route run, strong ADOT, a 135.4 passer rating when targeted. Next 3 games at the Jets, 23 in dropback EPA after a week. Miami, yes, please, number 25 in dropback EPA, D, and New Orleans at number 18 in that category. So Keon Coleman, is he here to stay at least as a wide receiver 3 and 12 team leagues? Is that believe or make believe?
Oh, yeah, man. I bet him to score on Sunday night. I have him on the season on the receiving yards. I think he gets to 800 minimum. And I also went over 4.5 touchdown receptions because I think he's going to get a lot of red zone looks, former basketball player. But I was really impressed with what I saw. Had a 15% target share. Really good in that game, man. And I think he's going to be the go-to guy. So I like Keon Coleman. I buy in on Keon Coleman this season.
Yeah, it just boxes guys out. And, obviously in some advanced metrics, some sites are tracking. It's like, oh, he had a 0% route win rate. I watched that game. He won a lot of routes in that contest. The separation, he doesn't have elite speed, but he high points balls. He's a savvy route runner, really just a smart wide receiver in finding space on the field. And when you have an accurate passer, and I can't believe I'm saying that about Josh Allen based on the unsavory things that said about him when he came out of college of Wyoming. Allen's going to find him. He's a tall, strapping dude at 6'5", really surveys the field. Coleman's got great size. And again, he just finds ways to win in mano-a-mano coverage. So, I think the good times are going to continue. Wouldn't be remotely surprised if he is one of the breakout candidates, regardless of position, in fantasy football this year. All right, last one real quick. Juwan Johnson, are you buying or selling? Is it believe or make believe? Again, 11 targets, 8 receptions, 76 yards in week 1. Can he do it again? Will he be a tight end 1 this season?
I think he could be, man, right? 8 grabs, like you said, 76 yards, led all positions with 11 targets. And the Saints are going to be playing from behind a lot this season, whether it's Spencer Rattler later on in the season if they go with the rookie. So I'm kind of buying in.
Yeah, I'm a little bit buying in as well. I mean, and I know this wholeheartedly. Come midseason, tight end position looks just craptastic. But I think Juwan Johnson could be a surprise sensation. That's why they backed up the truck and paid him oodles of cash in the offseason.